Hi there, my name is Anita, my twin brother Milo, and I have been inseparable because our parents are always busy, so he is the one who takes care of me, but after today everything is going to change. Milo has decided to attend a boarding school in the city to pursue his dream of joining NASA. We re just a phone call away. ILO, always be there. When you call the day Milo left, I quietly watched the taxi take him away. We only talked on the phone for the first few days. Then it became less frequent, and I knew something was wrong just as I was about to grab my backpack and go find him. Milo came back, and he didn't look as happy as he did when he left. I am not going back to school. I'm staying home now, but why? Because of the bullies in the dorm. They're terrifying at that moment. A notification popped up on his phone about his NASA scholarship, but even that didn't cheer him up. I couldn't continue school anymore, but if you drop out now, you'll lose everything. Determined more than ever, I came up with the idea of pretending to be him, to handle the bullies and keep a scholarship until he could go back to school. No way, aren't good. It's a boy dorm at first. Milo was strongly against my idea. I had to beg, saying I wanted to experience such a prestigious school, and if I encountered any trouble, I'd come back home immediately. I'll learn how to be a dude. Don't worry, piece of cake. Don't forget the names Oliver and Perry. They're the devils. I spent 3 days researching online how to act like a boy, preparing baggy clothes, t-shirts, jeans, and sneakers. I didn't forget to bind my chest and wear a wig. Now I look just like Milo. Even our parents wouldn't be able to tell us apart. I said goodbye to my brother and set off on the first day of school. I tried to act super cool, whistling and winking at the girls in the hallway, but I could, and avoid the annoyed looks from the other boys. Okay, time to dial it down. Nervousness made me suddenly need to piss, so I rushed into the bathroom and saw a bunch of girls taking selfies in front of the mirror. As soon as they saw me, they screamed. I remembered I was pretending to be Milo and should have gone to the boys' bathroom. I'm sorry, wrong room. I got lost. I ran to the boys' bathroom and was shocked by the smell. Toilet paper was everywhere and the mirror looked like someone had punched it. Yuck, no saving this place. After class, I headed back to the dorm, ready to face the ugly bullies. When a guy came up and put his arm around me, I jumped and pushed him away. I was unused to close contact with boys. You know, did you see the game last night, bro? Man, it was epic. I awkwardly joined their conversation, trying to sound knowledgeable. Oh yeah, when he nailed that soccer goal, I totally lost it. Bro, we're talking about baseball, not soccer. Just as I was trying to come up with a lie, a voice from afar caught my attention. Milo. I turned around and saw 2 guys standing at the classroom door. A glow behind them made other step aside. Handsome and tall. Perfect was the word for them. Her weakling nerd. Carry your bags back to the dorm. He shoved 2 bags into my hands. What the fudge? Why should I do that? Forget the great Oliver. Already, I'm your worst nightmare. Don't forget Perry either. My fists do the talking. He raised his fist in front of my face to intimidate me. So it was them. I thought they'd be fat and ugly. Fine. They did pay for what they did to Milo. The game was on. I agreed to carry their bags to the dorm because I was preparing a perfect plan. When I opened the door, I dropped everything in shock. It was like a giant city dump clothes, trash apple core, scattered all over the floor. Seriously, boys. I rolled up my sleeves and started cleaning. Nope, I only clean my area, their trash. I threw all of it on their beds. Why not? I was auntie their maid and they were aunt kings. Milo said the best way to avoid getting punched was to obediently do their homework, but I was about to do that IDAD. Little spice. To make things more interesting, let us see who the real loser is in this game. I kicked back, feet up on the desk, as Oliver and Perry returned. They froze like statues when they saw their beds buried in trash. What the heck is going on here? Your mess, your problem. Wait a minute. Milo, are you kidding us? Nope. You weak nerd forgot my fist already. Perry cracked his knuckles and lunged at me. I quickly stood up and pointed towards the door. Hey, Mr. Thompson. I tricked them and sprinted down the hallway. Perry's furious roar echoed behind me. You going to pay for this, Milo? I wandered outside until late in the evening, passing by an old lady struggling to sell her last flower. I bought it. You can go home and rest now. All. Thank you, sweetheart. You too. Not. Could enter as I turned to leave. I tripped, sending the flower flying. When I got up, I saw it neatly placed in the hands of a strange girl, her cheeks blushing with happiness. It's beautiful, thank you. I didn't know how to handle the situation when she suddenly jumped and hugged my arm. You so sweet. I am Misha. I own a flower shop, but you the first to give me flowers. My jaw dropped when I realized I was standing in front of a large, gorgeous flower shop, and the owner was clinging to me. Yes, I'll be your girlfriend. I could unbelieve it. It was an accident. Help me. I had to come up with an excuse to escape from Misha and get back to the dorm. I hope they were all asleep so I could shower in peace. But oh mamma mia, what hit me is the sight of their half-naked bodies wearing nothing but towels, showing off their muscular physiques. I had to cover my face before my nose bled seeing me. Perry rushed over to grab me, but this time Oliver stopped him. The actual supervisor is coming. Go to bed, boys. Stop causing trouble. As soon as Perry let go, I dashed into the bathroom and stayed put. I didn't feel safe with those guys outside after a while. I heard Oliver convincing Perry to go out, but I'm so sleepy, boss. Let us go only when they left it. I dared to shower PH the next day. When Mr. Thompson walked into class, I heard Oliver let out a loud hiss and quickly shut his notebook. Perry did the same right after, I knew why they were acting that way. When Mr. Thompson saw them trying to hide their notebooks, he made them open them. In front of everyone, they shot me hateful glares, but had to comply. The class was shocked to see their notebooks filled with bizarre drawings. How dare you insult me? It was untest. Milo did it. Me. How could I have your notebooks? I do undo your homework, remember. Perry was speechless. Both of them were punished to kneel with their hands raised outside the classroom all morning after class. As I walked by, Perry muttered, "A threat. I swear you'll regret being born." Perry, raise your hands higher. I stuck my tongue out at them before running off. Revenge was sweet. I did deal with the consequences later. I did even make it out of the dorm when Perry burst in, grabbed me, and slammed me against the wall. You think this is funny? Even if the sky falls, I am going to give you a beating. Perry swung his fist, and I closed my eyes tightly, but the hit never came. Oliver had caught Perry's punch. Stop it. Why you hate him too? It's different now. He's someone special. I looked at Oliver, and he looked back at me. My heart skipped a beat. Could he have figured out I was a girl? Because he's my sister's boyfriend. What, hello? Misha popped her head in from the door, her face beaming. It was the flower shop girl from the other night. Misha ran over, hugged me tightly, and kissed my cheek. I had to ask my brothers to find out about you, my sway sweet boyfriend. Who? As your boyfriend. What? I couldn't hear you. Oliver glared at me, and I could only gulp and nod. At least this way I solved Milo's problem. He wouldn't be bullied anymore, but now my brother had a clingy new girlfriend. Misha, because Misha's instructions Oliver stuck to me like glue to make sure no other girl got close. One time I was trying to eat lunch quickly to escape Oliver's watchful eyes when he casually pointed at his cheek. What the fudge? What did he mean by that? That's so weird. Just do it with his insistence. I closed my eyes and gave him a quick peek on the cheek. My face started burning up while Oliver stood there stunned. It's made me wish Perry were here to knock me out so I wouldn't have to face this humiliation. One morning, I went on a picnic in the park with Misha and Oliver. When Oliver went to buy drinks, Misha playfully leaned over the edge of the water and slipped in. Help. I can't swim. I panicked, not knowing what to do. I wanted to save her, but I couldn't swim either, and, above all, I'd be exposed if I went into the water. Suddenly another guy nearby jumped in and quickly pulled Misha to safety. As soon as they were on shore, Misha stormed over to me and slapped me hard. You coward. I can't believe I liked you. We redone like a gust of wind. Misha left with the guy, leaving me standing there stunned. Did I miss something? Misha, she just slapped me and dumped me. Are you okay? Oliver pulled me closer to check. The mark on my cheek, our faces were inches apart. Milo, I can't hide my feelings anymore. I never knew I was gay until I met you again. There's something about you that makes my heart race. What the bully just confessed to me. No, he confessed to my brother. Oh my lolly holly. My phone rang. Breaking. The awkward moment. The news I received was even more shocking. Perry was live streaming to the entire school, pulling out a wig and girl stuff from under my pillow. Look what I found. Milo is a girl in disguise. This was a bombshell in the boys' dorm. The principal was furious and threatened to expel Milo and revoke his scholarship if it was true. Oliver was stunned too. He kept looking at me and then at his phone, stammering. I had to bring the real Milo here. There was no other way but to tell the whole truth on the way home, from how my brother was tormented by two bullies to how I pretended to be him for revenge. Oliver seemed relieved when he learned I was actually a girl. Milo met me at the Hello everyone, I'm Sam, a 20-year-old trainee police officer from Chicago, and this is my family. We were never exactly rolling in dough. Dad used to be a driver for some wealthy folks, but got fired for some reason. Rumors swirled that he'd stolen money, but I never believed those stories. Life was tough for a while, but then things started to look up when my parents began bringing home all these priceless antiques and selling them for a fortune. Even Rose, my kid sister, got in on the action. From the outside, we looked like a happy family again. But unlike them, I had a different dream. I wanted to become a cop. My parents, however, were not thrilled. "Why did you hide your police academy application from us, Sam?" my mum asked one evening. "No, it can't be the police academy," Dad chimed in. "But I really want to be a cop," I pleaded. "The answer is no." "We're not discussing this again, sweetheart," Mum said, and with that angelic smile, she tossed my acceptance letter into the blazing fireplace. But I wasn't going to give up. I hustled like crazy, folding pizza boxes, cleaning up junkyards, and mowing lawns, doing whatever it took to pay my own way through the academy. A real cop never quits chasing justice, right? Then, one night as I was sleeping, I got an email about a theft case that needed urgent attention. While reviewing the evidence, a photo of an antique chest caught my eye. It looked exactly like the one my parents had brought home. Just then, a loud noise from the backyard startled me. I ran outside and saw these masked figures in black digging up our yard. Scattered all around them were rare, gleaming antiques. Why were they here? It looked like burglars trying to make off with our valuables. It was time to find out who these jerks were. "Freeze, police!" I yelled. One of them lunged at me. I grabbed his shovel, yanked it hard, and he face-planted into the dirt. The last one was thinking of making a run for it. "No way. Stop." But then I heard a familiar voice. "Sam, you might hurt Rose, huh?" Was that my mum? I looked closer. It was my dad, my mum, and even little Rose, all dressed in black. "Can someone please explain what is going on?" I demanded. "See, I told you to be gentle and not wake her up," Dad grumbled at Mum. "Seriously, these are precious antiques being stolen, and you're all digging around at night looking like this." I was completely bewildered. "Listen, Sam," Mum said softly, "this might be hard to swallow, but we stole them." "What?" I was in shock. I know. Just please, let's not blow this out of proportion," she continued. "How could you do this to me? I'm a cop, you know." I exclaimed. "That's exactly why we never wanted you to become a cop," Dad admitted. "You'll never understand. We did it all for the family. But this was a crime. I couldn't betray my principles, no matter how much they pleaded." That night, I decided to anonymously return all the antiques to the police station. It was the best I could do for my family and my conscience. The next morning, it was like nothing had happened. I was getting ready for work. Dad was reading his book on the sofa. Mum was making breakfast, and Rose was eating her cereal. It was as if last night's madness was just a bad dream. We slowly started talking again, and my parents promised they'd never steal again. I even suggested we all do some volunteer work together. Their willingness to change eased my mind, and I decided to let it go. After all, we're still family. Then one day, I was just stepping out of the supermarket when I heard someone yell, "Thief! Stop him!" Without a second thought, I chased the crook down and tackled him before he even knew what hit him. A voice behind me said, "Wow, impressive." I turned around. "Oh, it's you." It was Jake. "No biggie, just a little action," I replied, trying to sound cool. "Hey, don't rush off," he said. "At least let me thank you." I told him it was all good. "Oh, please," he insisted. "All right, fine," I sighed. "Here's the deal. I forgot to buy flour earlier. Mum's going to kill me if I don't bring home the ingredients for her cookies. Can you grab it for me? Here's the cash." I looked at him. "Nope, my treat," I said, and then I bolted. 5 seconds, and I was gone. That handsome guy, Jake, he's 2 years younger than me and a schoolmate of Rose's. Rumor has it his family is incredibly wealthy, flying to school in their private jet. Rose has a massive crush on him. Jake has been over to our place a few times and is super cozy with my parents, almost like their personal assistant. He often brings them gifts and has long private chats with them. And here's the weirder part. Whenever he's around, it feels like my parents are on edge, almost afraid of him. There was one time I overheard him talking to my dad. Jake's voice was low but firm. "You know the price if you fail, right? Don't make me remind you." My dad just nodded silently. What kind of power does a high school kid have over my parents? And why do they seem so indebted to him? Something felt very, very wrong. A few days later, my brother Milo called me in a panic. "Sam, you've got to help me. Perry is trying to expose me at school. Milo was my twin brother, and he loved to cosplay as female characters. He was so good at it that he'd even fooled some people at his school. Perry, the school bully, had somehow found out and was threatening to humiliate him in front of everyone. I rushed to his school with my friend Oliver, a martial arts expert. When we got there, the principal was already on the scene, looking horrified to see who was with me. But Oliver just stepped forward and bowed, apologizing and explaining everything. Milo agreed to return to school. He stepped onto the stage, where everyone was watching with curious eyes. He was about to open his shirt to prove he was a boy when Perry rushed over and yanked his hair. "That hurts." "What are you doing?" Milo yelled. "How can this be?" Perry stammered. "I saw the wig and the binder in your stuff." Milo calmly explained, "Those are for cosplay." After that, Perry was shunned by everyone and never dared to use his fists to solve problems again. As for Oliver, he became my brother's protector. He was so protective, in fact, that he even told Milo he wasn't allowed to date me. That night, when I got home, I saw my parents and my little sister Rose struggling to lug this massive chest into the house. They looked so strange. I peeked through the window and my jaw dropped. Mum opened the chest, and it was filled with jewelry all gold and gems, shining brightly. "Well, well," she said with a grin. "Looks like we've hit the jackpot this time. What in the world were they doing with all that bling?" I burst right in. "Sam, you're home. How was work today?" my mum asked, trying to act casual. "What is that?" I demanded, pointing at the chest. "Oh, just an antique we stumbled upon today. It was a real hassle to convince the previous owner to part with it. Looks pretty valuable, doesn't it?" Maybe I was just overthinking things. I was so worn out from work, but that feeling of dread just wouldn't go away. What is my family hiding? "Sam, here's your coffee. Have a great day." Sam, if I had to find something as beautiful as this flower, it would only be you. I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice him hitting on me. That's Jake. My sister Rose seems really into him, but let's just say I'm not into younger guys. Jake didn't back down, though. One day after my shift, I was walking out of the precinct when this singing blasted through the air. Jake was there belting out some tune at the top of his lungs. Gosh, my colleagues, even my boss, were staring. "Someone, save me. Sam, stop ignoring me." "Nah, not here, Jake. Please, just pretend you don't know me." I couldn't dodge this anymore. Today, right here, let's be real. I like you. Will you be my girlfriend? You want the truth? I don't dig guys who aren't even done with puberty running around pulling stunts like this. Specifically, I don't like you. There's no chance for us. Clear enough. Now go home and finish your essay. I might have been a bit harsh, but better than giving false hope, right? But Jake still came around after that, and weirdly, he seemed to be getting closer to my parents. "Are you guys all set?" "Yes, we can start the day. We need to make the most of our time." What were they up to? They sounded so shady. The memory of discovering my family were thieves flashed back vividly. I couldn't let them slip back into their old habits. I stealthily followed Jake and my parents as they left the house. They crossed the street and suddenly ducked into an alley. Afraid of losing them, I hurried after them, and then everything went black. Am I still alive? Oh no, Jake was seriously injured. He'd pushed me out of the way of a speeding car. But my parents, I couldn't find them anywhere. Where are my parents? You really know how to break a guy's heart. Shouldn't your first question be, "Oh, Jake, thank you so much for saving my life." Yeah, thanks. But seriously, Jake, where are my parents? Why were you with them? All right, fine. They needed me to handle some paperwork at the bank because I know someone there. That's all. I was still skeptical, but Jake did save my life. He didn't seem like a bad guy. I decided to come clean with Jake, telling him about my suspicions about the time I found my parents stealing that antique chest. Jake comforted me, telling me I could relax, but their mysterious actions left me unable to shake off my doubts. Then the fateful day arrived. My parents said they'd take Rose to a friend's birthday party and then hang out at the park. But how could I sit still? My trust in them had vanished. While giving Mum a goodbye hug, I sneakily slipped a GPS tracker I'd borrowed from the precinct into her purse. As soon as they were out of sight, I started following them. Their car pulled up outside the city's main bank. Good Lord, were they planning to rob a bank now? I knew it. All their niceties were just a facade to deceive me. They'd been plotting this all along. I ran towards them. Stop now, while you can. Mum, Dad, Sam, how did you— I warned you both, but you didn't listen. What drove you to so desperately commit crimes like this? I've told you, everything we've done was out of love for you kids. What kind of love leads you to burn my dreams and ruin Rose's future? She's only 14. Enough, Sam. Without stealing, we'd have starved to death long ago. You only care about yourself and your silly dreams. How dare you try to stop us? They refused their last chance. They jumped into their car and sped off. I immediately chased after them, calling the cops in the process. Their car zipped through turns, but I never gave up, and soon my squad was there, backing me up. Just as we were closing in on them on the highway, a truck ahead of them spilled a slick of oil onto the road. The police cars skidded, crashing into each other. They were using the chaos to escape. A loud explosion sounded, and thick smoke blurred our view, disorienting us. Damn it, where were they? Just then, a helicopter landed on the road in front of us. There stood my parents and Rose, with Jake on the helicopter, ready to whisk them away. Stop right there. Get off the plane and put your hands up. Contrary to what I expected, after my parents and Rose got on, Jake quickly jumped off the plane and slammed the door shut. Hey Sam, relax. You've caught them now. My parents and Rose faced the consequences for their past crimes. As heart-wrenching as it was, I knew I did the right thing. Jake later explained everything to me. He had no idea about the bank heist plan until our talk in the hospital. That's when he started realizing he was being manipulated. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Sam, I thought becoming their accomplice and gaining their trust was the best way to catch them, and I thought it might be a way to impress you. What do you think? I'd make a good undercover cop, wouldn't I? Not at all. Then how about being your boyfriend? Even less likely. How long have you been hiding this? We truly love each other. I will marry him. That's enough, Dad yelled angrily. He snatched a photo from Mum and threw it on the ground, causing it to shatter right in front of our eyes. No, it's our photo, Bunny. You can't marry someone you just met. I'm a grown-up. I know what I want. That's it. If they insist on keeping us apart, then I will leave this house. All I've ever wanted is to love someone, but my parents keep standing in my way. It all started at the Smiths' party. To be honest, I hate rich people's parties. My mum's voice echoed in my head, remember to smile and behave properly. Whatever. I wasn't planning on staying long. As soon as we arrived, my parents were all smiles. Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, we hope you enjoyed the party. Of course we do, my dad replied. Then my mum spotted someone. Oh, Aiden, this is Bonnie. She's very happy to meet you. All I could do was force an awkward smile. My mum continued, you two should talk more, and just like that, I was left alone with this total stranger. Mum is so unbelievable. Even though I didn't want to, I had to walk with him. Have you tried the lobster yet? He asked. I grimaced. Sorry, but I hate crustaceans. I needed an escape plan. As soon as my parents and Aiden weren't looking, I knocked over a candle on the table. I just wanted a small distraction, but I had no idea it would start an actual fire. Fire. Aiden panicked, but then quickly started helping the staff put it out. This chaos was my chance. Sorry, I mumbled. Even though my parents were furious and Aiden's face was as black as coal, I had to get out of there. I felt like Cinderella, leaving the ball in such a hurry that I dropped one of my sneakers. I didn't even bother to pick it up. I ran as fast as I could. Oh my gosh, they're so fast. I thought, seeing them closing in, I couldn't get caught. Just then, I saw a car parked nearby. I yanked the door open and jumped in. Oh lady, this isn't a taxi, the driver said. They're after me, please just drive. Seeing the panic in my eyes, the man started the car and I finally escaped my parents. The car eventually stopped at a place called John's Waffles. You must be hungry, he said. I didn't want this nice guy to think I was broke, but it was the truth. I'd left all my cash at home and hadn't eaten a thing at the party. Then I remembered my diamond necklace. I quickly took it off and handed it to him. I don't have cash with me, so please take this instead. The man seemed shocked when he saw it. He just smiled and said, take your time. Nobody's going to steal your waffles. Oh my God, this is the best food ever, I exclaimed after the first bite. He laughed. Really? They're just waffles. I know they're waffles, I said, but I didn't think food in a tiny restaurant like this could be so good. He looked amused. I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Bryson. Bonnie Marshall, I replied. We talked for a while, and my mood improved a lot. After I finished, Bryson kindly drove me home. Is this your house? He asked, pulling up to my gate. It is. Ciao. A few days later, I found myself back at John's Waffles. Oh, we meet again. It was Bryson. It turned out he was a freelance photographer. He'd been out on a photo shoot and just happened to stop by. Do you want to go to this place with me? He asked. Go where? Bryson took me to a secluded beach in the suburbs. I couldn't help but marvel at its beauty. It's so gorgeous, I breathed. Just like that, we started meeting regularly at John's Waffles, and Bryson would take me around for his photo shoot. I gradually realized I was falling for him. He was handsome, funny, gentle, and he seemed to understand me completely. One day, sitting on that same beach, I was about to confess my feelings. But he beat me to it. You say it first, I urged him. He smiled. I like you, Bonnie. Will you be my girlfriend? Yes, I said without a second's hesitation. And so, Bryson and I officially started dating. Of course, I kept it a secret from my parents. If my mum found out, she'd be furious. One day, Bryson was telling me about a big project. Launching this exhibition will change my life forever. It's just, I'm having some financial problems. I think I can help, I said immediately. My mum gives me a generous allowance every month. At my suggestion, Bryson was moved to tears. Bonnie, since the first time we met, I knew you were my destiny. He then got down on one knee. Bonnie, will you marry me? My heart skyrocketed. Oh my God. Before I could answer, I tripped over a rock. I'm so sorry. I'm fine, Bonnie. He leaned in closer and placed a soft kiss on my lips. It was perfect until, Bonnie. My mum's voice shattered the moment. She immediately pulled me away from Bryson, and my dad glared at him with pure hatred. When we got home, the atmosphere was beyond tense. What happened next is exactly what you saw at the beginning of this video. My mum scolded me endlessly. I just want to be in love with whoever I want, I screamed back. My dad even smashed a photo I had of me and Bryson. I'm a grown-up. I know what I want, I yelled. That's it, you're grounded. She retorted, her usual line whenever we argued. If you insist on keeping us apart, then I'll leave this house. I called Bryson in tears. Your parents just want the best for you, he said calmly. They don't want me to be happy, I cried. Bryson, I want to see you. You're the love of my life. I'll do anything for you. That night, after my mum went to bed, I climbed out my window. I ran through the backyard and successfully escaped. Bryson was waiting for me across the street. As soon as we met, I hugged him tightly. He really came for me. I promised to make you happy, he whispered. He took me to his house, a small place in an old apartment building. To be honest, it was smaller and more cramped than my own room, but that didn't matter. All I wanted was to be with Bryson. I'll do anything to make you the happiest woman in the world, Bonnie, he said. Oh, Bryson, I'm already happy. But my happiness was short-lived. A few days later, I tried to use my credit card, and it was declined. I called my mum. Did you block my card? I did. She said coldly, if you need money so much, then find a job. I couldn't believe she'd be so heartless. What's wrong, Bonnie? Bryson asked when he saw my face. My mum blocked my card. What do you mean? My exhibition might be cancelled. I don't know what to do. That exhibition is our future, babe. Once we make it, you and I can be together without anyone's approval, but without money. Seeing Bryson so dejected squeezed my heart. To help him, I decided to find a job myself. After searching all day, I finally found a farm owner looking for a truck driver. It must be like driving a car, right? I thought. With my last shred of hope, I went to apply and, to my surprise, I was hired. Just like that, I went from a pampered rich kid to a farmer. Every day I drove a truck, hauling everything from fresh vegetables to heavy bags of fertilizer. When I wasn't driving, I'd help with other farm work to earn a little extra. "Hey, hurry up!" my supervisor would yell. My back ached from carrying 20 buckets of fertilizer in a row, but it was a task I had to complete. As I was carrying another bucket, my foot slipped. Every night I was so exhausted that I'd fall asleep the moment my head hit the pillow. My hands were covered in scratches from rose thorns and the rough fertilizer bags. I spent most of my time on the farm, only going home on weekends. The second I saw Bryson, I ran into his arms. "Look at this, my hand hurts so much. Babe, as long as we launch the exhibition, we won't have to work this hard anymore. Let's just give it our best shot, okay?" Bryson was right. I needed to work harder for our exhibition. Only then would our lives get better. Over time, I started getting used to life in the suburbs. The work didn't seem so difficult anymore. I worked with a positive attitude and stopped complaining. My parents had probably given up on trying to control me and weren't forcing me to come home anymore. "Yes, I'll bring more fertilizer in a few days," I said, ending a call with a client. As I turned around, I saw a familiar face. "Can we talk for a bit?" Oh my gosh, the air suddenly felt so stuffy. Why was Aidan Smith here? Was he still holding a grudge and came all this way to get revenge? "Before you say anything, I want you to see this first." Aidan handed me a photo. It was a picture of Bryson kissing a strange girl. My hand started to tremble, and a sharp pain shot through my heart. "What is this? It's fake, isn't it?" Aidan took a slow sip of his coffee, his face completely emotionless. I couldn't read him at all. "I know you won't believe me. Come with me." The car rolled to a stop on the side of a quiet street. At first, I didn't understand why we were here. But then the door to the bookstore across the street opened, and I saw it all. Bryson walked out, holding another girl's hand. They were cuddling, and then they kissed. My whole body started to shake, and my throat felt tight. "Why are you showing me this? Are you trying to break us up? Did my mum tell you to do this?" "Bonnie, listen to me enough. I don't want to hear it. What I just saw. It must be a misunderstanding." "That's right. Bryson loves me. He would never do that to me." When I got back to our apartment, Bryson greeted me at the door. "You're back. Are you tired?" "I'm fine," I said, forcing a smile. "Well, I have great news. I made up with your mum and she agreed to sponsor the exhibition." "Really? Oh, I love you, Bonnie." On the day of the opening ceremony, the gallery was packed with Bryson's friends and potential buyers. He was in his element, showing off his talent to everyone. "Bonnie is the greatest inspiration. For me to make this collection," he announced to the crowd. I smiled politely. "It's about time. I'm just going to go prepare." With that, I slipped away. The official opening time came and went, but I was nowhere to be found. The guests grew impatient. Bryson frantically called my phone, but I didn't pick up Bonnie. "Pick up the damn phone," he muttered. At that exact moment, the main light in the gallery went out, right on the empty wall where my portrait was supposed to be. A giant screen lit up, showing a crystal-clear image of Bryson and the other girl kissing. Gasps filled the room. "What's that?" "That's not Bonnie. It's him and that lady. Geez, he was cheating on Bonnie." No, this is a misunderstanding." "Just a misunderstanding," Bryson stammered. Of course, it wasn't. That day, Aiden took me to the bookstore. I saw everything. I asked him to help me with a revenge plan. Bryson naively assumed I didn't know a thing and walked right into my trap. Then I made my entrance. Bryson immediately rushed towards me, begging, but Aiden stepped in front of him. "Who is he?" "Bonnie, listen to me, please. Just shut it. Everyone knows your true face now." I walked over to the wall and started tearing down his paintings one by one. "What are you doing?" "Stop it," Bryson screamed, but it was too late. "You make me sick. Cheater, get the hell out of my life, you bastard." Just like that, Aiden and I left, leaving Bryson screaming in the ruins of his own making. Aiden took me home. The first thing I did was apologize to my parents. "I'm so sorry I let you down. Oh, Bonnie," my mum said, her eyes filling with tears. "I should have talked to you properly instead of just getting mad. Aiden, thank you for keeping an eye on Bonnie for us," my dad said, turning to him. I was honored to help. "What do you mean?" I asked, confused. "Well, after you ran away, we were so worried that we asked Aiden to follow you and help if you needed it," my dad explained. "Your mother cried when she found out you had to work on that farm. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I burst into tears and hugged my parents tightly. All this time, they weren't being harsh. They were just terrified for me. And through it all, they never really let me go."